Hello, everyone. I am Sean Finning, and I'm joined by Callie Plaggy.
Hello.
Destiny Rise of Iron is out. Callie, you are reviewing this game. We've now been playing it for a day.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking to the audience here about our first impressions in a review in progress as we look at the gameplay of the first story mission in the campaign.
Right, so we haven't had enough time with Destiny to do a final score or anything like that, but we have finished the campaign, and I have some thoughts on it. So just as we're watching this first mission go down, I just want to start off by saying I actually went into it as a completely new character. I created a new character for Rise of Iron because I wanted to see what it would be like as someone who's maybe getting the Destiny collection and is jumping in for the first time. And so I used the Spark of Light, similar to what you get with Taken King, that auto levels you. So it auto leveled me up to 40, and I got some gear that got me to around light 280, which totally qualified me for this first mission. And I was very, very impressed with how Bungie balanced this first mission to make it a little bit more palatable for people who are new, but also not totally a cakewalk for people who are veterans of Destiny. And I'm very experienced in Destiny, and I still found it challenging. Also, I didn't have the weapons I'm used to, but I didn't find it like too easy for a first mission. It's definitely a good challenge, and so I really liked that about it. And Sean, I know you played as your existing character that was at max light level for Taken King, so you had a similar experience where it wasn't too easy for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I think, and you spoke a little bit to this, and I think we were both in agreement here that Destiny did, with Rise of Iron, do a pretty good job of making the campaign palatable for both the newcomer as well as the grizzled veteran. I'd played on a character that was at 335 light when the Taken King officially ended. Now we moved into Rise of Iron, and I didn't find this mission to be like a walk in the park. Certainly not. Now, the interesting thing about the campaign is it does deal with this new threat of Siva and an entirely new environment of the Plague Lands and the Iron Temple, which you're seeing right here. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts just on the environment and sort of the zone, and potentially how it's designed versus like how it works with the gameplay.
Yeah, I thought the design was really smart for a lot of the areas because these are spongier enemies, right? It's the same sort of thing as the Taken and Taken King. These are, existing, so these are fallen that have been basically enhanced by a nanotechnology, virus-like thing. And that makes them harder to kill and a little bit better at killing you. And so I found that having to duck and cover and really take time to regenerate health was really important. And all of the areas for the story mission, at least, were really good about providing good places to take cover and sit for a second and think about what you're going to do next, without being too easy. It was still like I had to really run to find cover in some areas. So I thought that was really, really smart and done well.
Bungie is pretty strong when it comes to the environmental storytelling and environmental design. And what you're seeing here is it's very pretty.
It is very pretty, and I actually fell off the mountain a couple times because I was just busy looking at it.
Just take one step too far and you're
yeah.
off a cliff.
Yeah, right there we shot the icicles, but you can totally just fall off, and that was actually part of the challenge for me in this. Is I was busy trying to fight enemies, and in this part I would kind of back off from the dregs, and I would just fall off. That happened maybe twice, I think.
Yeah, and so speaking of the enemies here, give us a little bit of a context as to what this new threat is. We talked a little bit about Siva. You said it was a nanotech.
Right.
It basically, the Fallen have discovered it and are now using it to augment themselves, which results in these new enemy types.
Right, and it's unstable. So the whole story here, and it is a very short campaign. So the story is told in a very brief way, which we'll get to in a second, but basically the Iron Lords were filling in the gap after the fall before the Guardians were resurrected. So it's all about the Iron Lords and what happened to them, and basically it has to do with Siva being very unstable and a lot of sacrifice on the part of the Iron Lords, and you're helping Lord Saladin, who's the last of them, the last survivor, find peace. And also find where they're finding Siva. It's also important because if they get control of it, that can be really bad. I think it's it's not a terribly original story. I think the story of former heroes finding peace after a tragedy is is done. It's been told. But I think as far as Destiny storytelling goes, it has a lot more clarity than some things in Destiny. It doesn't rely too heavily on Grimoire, for example, so I didn't have to go in, and I actually do read the Grimoire, so you don't have to read it to really find out what's going on. It tells its story in a very tight and clear way. I think, even though it feels a little short for what it's trying to do. I mean, that's a big endeavor, covering the history of what happened to the Iron Lords, and it does it in maybe 2 hours, depending on your skill level and light level that you come in.
Bungie did set a precedent with the Taken King. They showed that they could really flesh out these characters and kind of tell a really interesting, coherent, concise story with the Taken King. Tell me a little bit about how you felt this campaign specifically stacks up towards the expectations, and also how it relates maybe to Taken King.
I mean, they've made it clear that this isn't an expansion the size of the Taken King. It is smaller. I still felt like it was short though. Like I knew it was going to be shorter, but it ended sort of abruptly to me. And I won't spoil anything, but it just seems like the solution we come to at the end of the campaign, it just happens very suddenly, and it doesn't build enough for me. But I think in general it's told well. I think they worked hard to fix the mistakes of their previous storytelling. I mean, Destiny is not known for being the most easy to understand thing when it comes to lore and plot, unless you're really into Grimoire. So I thought that was good. I mean, they tried to improve upon a mistake, and I think that maybe as far as combat goes, they don't do that as much. They basically just, here's more Destiny, and it's fun. The combat's exciting, as you see here, just because we're getting into this scene. It's slightly spongier enemies who are a little stronger and a little easier to, or harder to kill, a little better at killing you, and it doesn't build upon what Destiny does. It's just, here's another very Destiny sort of fight sequence.
Exactly, and this is a great example to illustrate that point, because we are fighting Sepix Perfected, who, if you are an old school Destiny player, will remember from the original Strike missions, or the original story mission is where you first see him. House of the Devil, I believe is what it's called, or the Devil's Lair or something. I can't remember.
Something about the devil.
Yeah, it was from a long time ago. But basically, the Fallen have resurrected their mechanical god using this technology, this nanotechnology Siva, and here he is again, but he doesn't do anything drastically different.
Right, I mean, he'll teleport a little more, and it is pretty cool, I think, for somebody who's been playing Destiny for a while to see an old boss come back. I mean, that's just kind of a novel thing that I enjoy in games that get updates like this one. But yeah, he doesn't. I think that's one of the one of the things I was a little disappointed by, I guess, let's say, with Rise of Iron so far, as far as the campaign goes, is they don't build upon anything that Destiny has been doing. It's just, here's some more of what you've seen, and even down to the first boss being a boss we've already fought.
Okay, Callie, so we've heard a little bit about what you liked and what you didn't like about Rise of Iron. To sum it all up, give us the review in progress of what you think about this game.
So I think that Rise of Iron does a lot of things Destiny well, if that makes sense. It's Destiny for the people who like Destiny. I don't think it's going to, or at least the campaign is not going to convert anybody who didn't like how Destiny plays before. I mean, the enemies are spongier than ever for me, and I have fun with it. The combat's fun, but I don't think it does enough to improve upon its strengths or fix its flaws. And I think that's the biggest pitfall of Rise of Iron, despite all the things I liked about it, is it's more of the same, and if you like that, fine. But so far, at least for the campaign, it's not much different.
So there you have it. That is our review in progress of Destiny Rise of Iron. Thank you, Callie.
Thank you.
For more on Destiny, as well as the official review, you are already in the right place, IGN.